Welcome back to Versus. Today I am excited because we are covering Beetlejuice, which is a film created by Tim Burton, who's created many other things such as Wednesday, Edward Scissorhands, and even a random Batman movie. But Tim Burton gave us this movie, which has a weird plot but great practical effects. Let's see this weird plot and get into the film. The movie opens with a drone shot over a town that is home to a giant spider. Oh wait, no, it's only a model town. But that spider is still massive. The creators of the model town, Barbara and Adam Maitland, are a very sweet couple. But a character named Jane tries convincing the Maitlands to sell their house, and it's super annoying since it's nothing to do with her. Adam goes to a hardware store to collect supplies for their model town, but when going back to their house, they swerve into the side of a bridge because of a dog in their way. They fall into the water, and when they arrive back home, they have weird events that happen to them, such as hands lighting on fire or a weird planet outside, and no reflection in the mirror, which must mean they're vampires. Oh no, wait, they're dead, since they get given a book which says recently deceased on it. They could have survived this by breaking really hard to not hit the dog, or maybe don't swerve on like the tightest bridge on earth. Maitlands wake up from a sleep where we see that Jane has already sold their house. We meet Charles Deese, who is played by a convicted paedophile. How fun. Otho, no last name, who is one of the most gay-coded characters that I know. Lydia Deese, who talks to people through Christmas lights, who are in another dimension. And Delia Deese, who is played by the late and great Catherine O'Hara. Even though I scheduled Beetlejuice before her death, I still feel like this video should be a final tribute to her amazing acting career. Adam and Barbara try multiple ways to scare the family and Otho, but they still can't see the ghosts. Barbara goes for a door which ends up on the Moon Titan, which contains my second favourite monster in this universe, aside from Beetlejuice, which is the sandworms, which are created with a lot of work using stop motion and shows a great use of practical effects. You can survive these sandworms since you can wait for them to charge and then move out of the way, since they function like a bulb for some reason. Dees renovate the house with tons of unneeded stuff going on while that's happening, such as random kids running around, random cows, and stupid construction workers that nearly killed Delia, which definitely should have ended in a lawsuit. Lydia sees the Maitlands watching them from upstairs, and she gets a key from June, who is just so sad to see the Maitlands go.
Fuck you!
The Maitlands get an ad from Beetlejuice, where we first see the wild performance we are going to get from Michael Keaton. But the Maitlands instead open up a door to the afterlife, using chalk to draw a rectangle and a knob. A doorknob, not the knobs that you draw on the school tables. See dead people who look different due to the dumb ways they died. And there's so many dumb ways they died.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Such as being cut in half or lung cancer from smoking. Which makes me wonder why the Maitlands don't look weird. They even cater for people who are flattened to death by ziplining them around. Maitlands have a meeting with Juno in their house, which has been changed a lot by the Dees, since time functions differently while they're dead. She teaches them how to scare, and gives us a backstory to Beetlejuice, since there's nowhere else in the film where this could be put. Beetlejuice is living in the model cemetery and eats a fly that can talk, which isn't even the weirdest thing in this movie. The Maitlands try scaring the Deets dressed up as sheep ghosts, but Lydia doesn't care or seemed fazed by the ghost, which she can see. Barbara decides to say Beetlejuice 3 times, and they get transported into the model. But for some reason, Beetlejuice makes them dig him up, which they didn't even really need to do. Beetlejuice rises from the coffin and immediately starts flirting and kissing Barbara. Beetlejuice messes with the Maitlands with many gags whilst talking about if he's up to the job about scaring the Deets out of the house. But they change their mind since Beetlejuice is way too pervy to be around Lydia, which makes sense since there's already one paedophile in this movie as well. The Deets are having an important dinner with business people that Charles is offering the house to make
Money!
so it's way more better when the supposed to be classy people get up and start dancing to the Banana Boat song and twerking before being thrown by shrimp hands. This scene was nearly cut from the movie entirely, and I'm really happy it didn't, since this is one of my favourite scenes in the entire movie, especially since Catherine O'Hara fully commits to the bit. This scare attempt somehow makes the Deets want to stay even more, since their haunting could attract them more.
Money!
Otho steals the book for the recently deceased, and Beetlejuice offers to show the Maitlands how it's really done to scare people. Which he does when he turns himself into a snake and attacks everyone. But Barbara stops him before he harms Lydia. Juno distracts Beetlejuice with a hortal, which we know he can't resist. Juno has another meeting with the Maitlands, where she does an impression of me watching the most recent Anaconda.
Not bad, not bad.
But actually teaches them how to scare. Lydia plays a game of charades to learn Beetlejuice's name, since he can't tell her himself. But the Maitlands stop this before anything bad can happen. Otho thinks he's summoning the Maitlands for Charles's boss, Maxie, but the idiot accidentally forms an exorcism spell, which will get rid of the Maitlands forever. Lydia calls on Beetlejuice to help the Maitlands, but she has to get married to him. And Beetlejuice is finally here to stay for the rest of the film.
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice then shoots Maxie Dean and his wife through the ceiling, which I assume kills them realistically, so they could have survived this by not just standing there when a demon who has harmed the Deets before is about to send them through the ceiling. But I guess they were amazed by the practical effects. Beetlejuice gets rid of Otho in a blue suit, and it is said that Otho has been summoning other demons that are surprisingly similar to Beetlejuice instead.
Oh, Gravity Falls, it is good to be back!
Beetlejuice tries marrying Lydia, which the Maitlands try to stop, and I guess the Deets just stand there. But Beetlejuice stops them by teleporting them or just zipping their mouth shut. They don't need to say his name as long as Barbara rides down the sandworm and swallows him whole. The movie ends with Lydia floating and dancing to the song Jumping the Line, since she got an A in a maths test. And Beetlejuice tries skipping in the line at the dead waiting room, but he gets his head shrunk. Now that the movie is over, I will rank the survivability of the film and how much I liked it in a tier list. I think the average person can survive, since Beetlejuice is a very cartoony character, and only 2 people died in this movie, which weren't even from Beetlejuice in the first place. And Beetlejuice never confirmedly hurt anyone, the worst being throwing Charles down the stairs, which caused him to only have a plaster on his forehead. I believe, okay, screw that. We all know Beetlejuice is an S tier, because why wouldn't it be an S tier? It's just such a weird and classic movie that you can't help but love. Beetlejuice is just such a fun movie, and I'm happy I decided to do this one instead of any other rubbish one. And I know it's not really horror, but it's close enough, so yeah. And I completely forgot to mention the Beetlejuice musical in the script, which would be really funny if I could cover it one day. This has been You Versus. And I'll see you next time.
Get through this!
Take a good look at the doll's back.
Doll! Turn out! Oh. Damn it!
I don't know who started this shitty game, but that button should end it. So...